When I was a boy, I was in love with Snowdonia. I'd visit with my family every year on holiday to walk the peaks. And I had my first taste of climbing at Cnicht, arranged by the master, Eric Jones. But in adult life, I rarely had the chance to visit my old haunts or enjoy the feel of rock underfoot. So now, after 25 years, I'm going back to revisit some of the peaks and routes that captured my imagination all those years ago. But this time, it's personal. This time, it's just me and the mountain.
Now, where's the best route?
When I used to climb and walk in Snowdonia in my youth, I always had others around me. But I want to really reconnect with the hills again. So this time I'm going alone. Truly alone. No camera crew, just me. That means I've got to be completely self-sufficient and to film everything myself. So to get a little practice and develop some solo filming techniques, I'm going to climb Cnicht, which rises above Porthmadog like a chocolate box peak. No wonder then that it's known as the Welsh Matterhorn. Cnicht will be my test peak, but I'm also keen to find out what I feel about this mountain 25 years on. As a child, I marvelled at its shape from below, but was unimpressed when we climbed it. So on many levels, this practice walk is going to be a real voyage of discovery. Arriving back in Snowdonia feels great, and it seems like nothing has changed in all these years.
I used to stay in that house when I was a kid.
I'm eager to revisit all the places I loved as a child and quickly feel at home. But there's work to be done, so it's off to Croeser, the starting point for Cnicht. From the car park, it's easy to find your way, and you get a fabulous view of the peak and route from the village.
Right, well, you follow a very steep road out of the village, and then you come pretty quick to a beautiful mountain track. We're heading up through this old oak wood. Really is quite a mysterious place, quite eerie. It really does feel like the land that time forgot, the sort of place you'd expect to stumble into Gandalf or someone like that. But beautiful. Now we're breaking out of the woods, and the view is just to die for. You can see behind me, you've got Moelhebog, you've got the Nantle Ridge. Can't quite yet see all the way over to Snowdon, but that'll come. And you know what? It's so peaceful. Quite often when you come to Snowdonia, you get the feeling that it's quite a busy place. It's very easy to just park your car and climb something straight away. Can sometimes seem as though it's quite difficult to actually find real wilderness. And that's what I love about Cnicht. It's quite an easy scoot up from Croeser, it really is, but you just feel like you're in the middle of nowhere.
Well, you get that feeling most of the time.
I remember climbing Trubben once with my dad, and we'd just kind of broken up onto the ridge proper, and then they flew below us. To be standing above fighter jets as they fly past is just something special. One of the great things about this walk, I think, is how you've always got your target in sight. There are no false summits really to speak of. All around you you've got reminders of Croeser's past, small piles of slate. There are all sorts of slate workings in the valley below as well. Okay, made it up to the stile. that'll take us now onto the open ridge that leads up to Cnicht summit. And well, the view, quite hazy, quite misty. Finally, first peak of Snowdon. Getting high now, it's getting a bit rockier. The terrain's becoming a little bit more challenging. There it is. Okay, I've got myself up to the bottom of the final push. This is where the fun starts. This is where the scrambling potential comes in. And to stop and have some lunch. Ah, chez moi.
Soon enough I was off again, and this was the key part of my mission today, to see how I get on filming myself while tackling some hands-on action. Cnicht has limited scrambling, it must be said, but it does have a short gully that would be perfect for my needs. I wanted to try out a mixture of fixed overhead and moving shots. A couple of runs up the gully would get me the shots I needed. Then it would be up to the summit to enjoy the glorious views.
If I'm making this look a lot harder than it really is, that's absolutely right. If I went on my own, I'd show you the rig that I'm carrying in order to be able to do this solo.
Further up, the route eased, but there would still be a bit more work to do before I could get to the top.
One last little push, and hopefully we'll start to top out. It's a mountain of many dimensions. It really does save the best to last, and it really makes you work to get to the summit. That's kind of nice. Now I can see the ridge as it goes off. In fact, there's a wonderful horseshoe if you've got the time, but that'll just about do it for me. This has got to be one of the nicest peaks to stand on and just soak up the atmosphere of Snowdonia. This is where you really get to feel for the Welsh mountains. Cnicht well and truly delivers. It's got everything, it really has. It would be a wonderful location for a wild camp, and it's just that sense of being alone. This is a cracking little mountain, often overlooked, and unfairly so. I'd say go climb it. The climate alone is sweet. Thank you, good night.